Does your shoulder hurt after bench pressing? The bench press is a compound movement that engages your chest, deltoids, and arms, with slight changes in technique shifting emphasis to different areas. For example, a narrow grip targets the triceps, while a wider elbow angle places more strain on the shoulders. Many people unknowingly flare their elbows too much during the bench press, leading to shoulder pain. So, how can you improve your bench press technique to effectively target your chest without injuring your shoulders? Here are 3 key points. 1. Elbow angle. Try raising your elbows above your shoulders and pulling them back, similar to the bench press motion. You'll notice your chest feels disengaged, and it's your shoulders doing all the work. Now, lower your elbows below shoulder level and repeat the motion. You'll feel a much deeper stretch in your chest with noticeable activation. When bench pressing, flaring your elbows too much places immense stress on your shoulders. Keeping your elbows tucked not only allows for a deeper stretch, but also better activates your pectoral muscles. Recently, there's been debate about whether you should tuck or flare your elbows. The truth is, the perfect elbow angle varies from person to person. Some feel most comfortable at 60 degrees, others at 45 or even 70 degrees. To find your ideal elbow angle, check the barbell's landing point on your chest. If it lands at the center of your pectorals, your elbow angle is appropriate. If your elbows flare too wide, the barbell will land near your neck or upper chest. If your elbows tuck too much, the barbell will land on your lower chest or even your stomach. 2. Grip width. Many people determine their grip width by referencing the markings on the barbell. But let me ask, should someone who's 1.6 meters tall and someone who's 1.9 meters tall use the same grip width? A 2022 study on bench press grip width analyzed the chest, shoulder, and arm activation of 7 participants using the same grip width. Results showed varying levels of activation across all muscle groups, proving that what works for one person may not work for another. To find your ideal grip width, start by placing an empty barbell at the correct landing point on your chest. If your forearms are angled outward, your grip is too narrow, turning your bench press into a triceps-focused close grip press. If your forearms angle inward, your grip is too wide. While powerlifters often use a wide grip for better performance, the optimal grip width for muscle building is when your forearms are perpendicular to the barbell at the bottom of the movement. The distance between your hands at this point is your ideal grip width. 3. Shoulder shrugging. During the concentric phase, pushing the bar up, many people shrug their shoulders, especially if they have well-developed anterior deltoids. However, the bench press load isn't meant to be handled by your deltoids alone, leading to shoulder pain. The solution is to set up properly. Arch your chest high and press your shoulders firmly into the bench. When pushing the bar, don't just think about moving it upward. Instead, focus on squeezing inward to bring your arms closer together. The primary function of the pectoral muscles is horizontal adduction, or bringing the arms toward the center of the body. By shortening the distance between your arms, you're effectively completing the lift. Lastly, may your training lead to bigger muscles and a pain-free journey. Losing belly fat is easier than you think. Most people waste time on various 30-day quick fix methods such as wearing waist trainers, taking diet pills, or following celebrity diets. However, they fail to realize that a flat stomach is the result of consistently making the right choices each day. By taking the right actions every day, you're actually on the fastest and most effective path to success. 1. Adjust your mindset. Most people who want to lose belly fat are looking for quick, temporary solutions. You need to understand that maintaining a healthy body is a lifelong pursuit. Even if you achieve quick results through some extreme method, it's impossible to live in an extreme way forever. Once you stop that unsustainable, crazy routine, you'll revert to your previous state. Instead, you should think of healthy fat loss as a daily practice for the rest of your life, like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. This doesn't mean you can't have indulgent days where you enjoy your favorite foods or skip the gym, but overall, you should consciously maintain your physique as a long-term principle, rather than setting a goal, reaching it, and then returning to unrestricted eating. By adopting a new lifestyle, you can effortlessly sustain the results of your efforts. This is why it's essential to create a diet plan that suits you and feels easy to stick to. Find your healthy fat loss calorie intake, and you'll discover there's still plenty of food you can enjoy. The best approach is to eat the foods you love, rather than forcing yourself to eat bland meals like boiled chicken breast. For example, check the macronutrient content of your favorite foods and allocate your intake wisely. This way you can enjoy what you love without exceeding your calorie limits. Hashtag 2. Opt for low-calorie density foods. The lower the calorie density, the more you can eat for the same calorie intake. Whole, natural foods are the best choices as they help solve the problem of hunger. In contrast, heavily processed foods are typical examples of high-calorie density options. 3. Increase protein intake. Protein is the building block of body tissue and takes longer to digest, helping you feel fuller for longer. It can also reduce unnecessary snacking impulses. Hashtag 4. Eat more vegetables. Vegetables not only provide essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, but also have high fiber content, filling your plate and making you feel satisfied while keeping calorie intake under control. Hashtag 5. Strength training. Incorporate as much strength training as possible each week. Muscle is more metabolically active than fat, so having more muscle means your body burns more calories, boosting your overall metabolism. Strength training doesn't have to happen daily. For someone weighing 260 pounds, brisk walking can also count as strength training. Remember, muscles grow stronger during rest. 6. Add some aerobic exercise. You can add activities like walking or brisk walking based on your current ability. However, keep sessions under 60 minutes. Doing too much aerobic exercise while eating very little can quickly deplete your energy. 7. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Daily adequate sleep is crucial for losing belly fat. Sleep affects hormone regulation, particularly those related to appetite and metabolism. Lack of sleep disrupts the balance of hormones like leptin and ghrelin, leading to increased hunger and appetite. By adopting these methods, you can effectively reduce belly fat and maintain a healthy lifestyle in the long run. Focusing on calorie density can help effectively reduce belly fat. How much of various foods equals 200 calories? For example, strawberries, oranges, watermelon, vegetables, zucchini, mushrooms, cauliflower, potatoes, shrimp, and beef all fit into this range. Most fruits, vegetables, and high-protein meats are considered low-calorie density foods. On the other hand, chocolate, desserts, meat floss cakes, ice cream, cheese, fried pork chops, and peanut butter are typical high-calorie density foods. Low-calorie density foods are crucial during fat loss periods because the only way to shed stubborn fat is by maintaining a calorie deficit over time. Simply put, you need to eat less, and satiety helps control your intake. Choosing low-calorie density foods for the same calorie amount can provide greater satiety. Research shows that people who eat low-calorie density foods tend to consume significantly fewer calories throughout the day than those who eat high-calorie density foods. High-calorie density foods often lead to overeating because they don't satisfy hunger as well. For example, 400 calories of Oreos won't keep you as full as 200 calories of strawberries. That's why high-calorie density foods are more likely to cause overeating. Your body burns a certain amount of calories just to digest food. For high-protein foods like chicken breast, up to 15 to 30% of their calories are burned during digestion. This is known as the thermic effect of food. An experiment compared participants eating high-protein diets versus low-protein diets with identical calorie amounts. Those on the high-protein diet burned an additional 70 calories per day. High protein intake also appears to help prevent weight regain. Additionally, you need about 20 to 30% of your calories to come from fats, which are essential for cardiovascular health and maintaining hormone levels. Visceral fat, however, poses serious health risks. A 2012 experiment showed that all participants consumed the same calories with identical amounts of protein, carbs, and fats. But one group's fat primarily came from saturated fat, like butter, while the other group's fat was mostly unsaturated, like omega-6 fats found in nuts and vegetable oils. After 10 weeks, although their weights barely changed, the saturated fat group saw a significant increase in visceral fat, while the unsaturated fat group lost a substantial amount of liver fat. Lastly, sugar-free soda can be a helpful tool during a fat loss phase. In a comparison between drinking water and sugar-free soda, those who drank soda lost more fat, possibly because the water group inadvertently consumed sweet treats, leading to a calorie surplus. Keeping some sugar-free drinks at home can be a good option. They satisfy sweet cravings without adding calories. Even if you're sweating it out at the gym, if you neglect your diet, you might end up just being a paper plane rather than the jet-setting fitness icon you dream of. This post highlights common dietary mistakes. Check to see if you're guilty of any of them and make the necessary changes. Actual 1. Eating small, frequent meals. Some people eat a few bites per meal but have multiple meals a day, believing this boosts metabolism. That's why many fitness meal plans recommend 5 to 6 meals a day. But is this really true? Meta-analyses have shown that small, frequent meals versus fewer, larger meals make no difference in overall daily calorie burn. In other words, how much you eat in one sitting and how often you eat in a day doesn't matter. As long as your calorie intake is fixed, its effects on your metabolism and body are the same. 2. Overcomplicating weight loss. Losing weight is simple. If you burn more calories than you consume, you will lose weight. Stop overthinking whether you should eat organic or conventional vegetables, whether cauliflower or broccoli is better for fat loss, whether you should boil, stir fry, or eat your food raw, whether red meat or white meat is healthier, or whether to drink protein shakes after a workout, and if so, when. Just give yourself a break. If you maintain a calorie deficit, you'll lose weight. Combine this with strength training and a high protein intake for fat loss. Make sure you eat more meat, eggs, and dairy daily. If that's not possible or convenient, have a protein shake instead. Follow these 2 principles, and unless you're a silicon-based life form, fat loss is inevitable. Carbs, protein, and fat should come primarily from whole, natural foods rather than highly processed packaged foods. 3. Eating clean isn't a free pass. Eating clean is not bad, but the overall principle still applies. Some people use eating clean as an excuse to disregard portion control. If asked why they're not losing weight, they'll claim, "But I eat clean." That doesn't mean you can eat unlimited amounts and expect results. Sasha 4. Relying too much on fruit. Fruit isn't inherently bad, but don't ignore its calorie and sugar content. If you followed my videos, you'll know that everything we eat, whether it's rice, noodles, meat, or fruit, is just a different form of energy: carbs, protein, or fat. Now 5. Relying on intuition to judge diet. Many people use guesswork to determine whether their diet is on track, leading to consistent underestimation or overestimation of their calorie intake. The correct approach is to check food labels, plan meals ahead of time, and track your daily intake. Use a food scale to measure portions and record everything in a mobile app. This way, you'll know exactly how many calories you're consuming. Don't worry about it being tedious. This won't last forever. Once you've gained enough experience, your trained intuition will help you estimate accurately, especially if you're eating a consistent diet. The key to long-term success is understanding your intake and making informed choices. With enough practice, you'll find that maintaining your dietary goals becomes second nature.